Number 1. Are cars born or are they made? And if they are born, do they lay eggs or give live birth? Number 2. We see McQueen has a tongue, so is his tongue made of metal or is it made out of flesh? And for the record, if they do have other organs, are they made of metal or are they made of flesh? Number 3. Were there ever humans in this world or has it always just been cars? Number 4. If a car runs out of gas, do they just sit there forever or do they eventually die due to a lack of gas? Number 5. Speaking of which, in the third film it's revealed that Doc Hudson died, but this begs the question of how do cars die? Number 6. In Cars 3 we're introduced to a school bus character, but that raises the question of how school buses work in this world. Do the cars actually get on the school bus or are they like guides? Number 7. In the first film, during the tractor tipping scene, we see that cars raise tractors like cows, but what do they raise them for? Do they milk them, or do they harvest them for meat? Number 8. In the second film, Mater enters a sushi restaurant, but what exactly is the sushi made from? Number 9. Throughout the series, we have seen trains, blimps, helicopters, and boats. How exactly do some of these go about living their life? If in the case of trains and boats, they can only move on specific locations, or in the case of blimps and helicopters, they literally have to be flying to move. In Cars 2, the main antagonists are lemon cars, but the movie never explains whether or not lemons are a race or a condition. Number 11. In Cars 2, we find out that there's a Pope car, so does that mean that there are cars out there that believe in a Jesus car? And does that also mean that there are other religions in the Cars universe? I mean, Hinduism is hinted at in Planes, but what others could exist in this world? And do they have religions that aren't in our reality? Number 12. How come we've never seen motorcycles, tanks, submarines, or jet skis? Number 13. Did cars evolve from something else, or have they always been vehicles? Number 14. Can you open their doors? And if you can, what would you see in there? Would opening their doors kill them? You would see a bunch of flesh inside? Or would you just see regular car stuff inside? Number 15. Do cars need to eat and drink, or do they just need gasoline to live? Number 16. Considering that everyone is constantly emitting CO2 gases, is the cars world just incredibly hot due to global warming, or do they not emit CO2 at all when they move? Number 17. In Planes, when they go to New York, there's no sign of the Twin Towers. Does that mean there was a 9/11 in the Cars universe? Number 18. In the first film, we get a joke where two twins flash their headlights at McQueen and is treated in the same way as someone showing their breast to someone. So does that mean that in this universe, headlights equate to their nipples? Number 19. Are those carified Pixar films they watch at the end of the first movie still animated, or are they live action in this universe? Number 20. Again, referring back to the scene in Planes that takes place in New York, how on earth did Cars manage to build those skyscrapers? Number 21. Again from Planes, it's revealed that apparently they use compost in that world. And while yes, compost can refer to vegetable matter, it's pretty obvious by the way they describe it in film that it's the kind of dung compost. So does that mean that vehicles in this universe need to defecate? Number 22. What were prehistoric times like in the Cars universe? Number 23. If you cut a car, will it bleed? Number 24. Do things that don't have engines, but are still considered vehicles come to life, such as bikes and sailboats? And finally, are cars considered machines or animals?